folks, I'm back again today. What do we have here, folks? Panic as bodies found floating in UP river. Telangana turns away Andhra ambulances carrying patients sans reserved beds. Isn't that pathetic how our states are building walls? And look at this. Bodies floating down rivers, folks. Is that what we've come to? Now, obviously, all our Vedic teachings of burning the body and letting the soul go is obviously out of the window into the river. Because why? There's no wood. There's no space. Now there's a fight going on between Bihar and UP. Who's done this? Man, unbelievable, right? And finally, B1617 can now be seen as a variant of concern globally. India getting locked out. We knew about this last August. And guys, if we don't get vaccinated, this will keep mutating and we'll keep getting things out of concern. In UP district now reporting highest cases, families cart their own folding cots to war. 26 deaths in Goa hospital, health minister says CM misguided. So the CM and the health minister in Goa, BJP bought out Sarkar, matlab adal badal Sarkar. This is what you have. Goa, finally there. Capital goes from co-vaccine to no vaccine. Is that a surprise? I ask you, is that a surprise? Not at all. Get Pfizer in, work out indemnity. And we've been sitting on this. Our babus need to get a kick where it hurts. They've been sitting on it. Believe me, guys, Pfizer was the first one to apply into India and has not been given permission so far. Unbelievable. And this is something that, like, going back on what I said, the rational course to recover from COVID pandemic, to thrive again, India must embrace science fully. Throw out this Gau Raksha, throw out this Gau Mutra, junk that Baba Ramdev. If you don't do that, you're headed down an extremely slippery slope. And when I say this, now the other part is the economy, which we've lost sight of. It's not doing well. No matter what, this stock market is BS. It's not reflective of anything except the rich getting richer and money coming in from wherever it can to make money. It's doing and is not giving a true picture of the economy, folks. Stock taking signs of shortage of essentials. What's going to happen? Auto sales dipped 25% in April, is going worse in May. COVID curbs slow down manufacturing. Over half of formal employees became temps in 20, and it's going to become worse, right? Several key sectors stare at export impact, and there you have Piyush Goyal who's coming out and saying we're going to clutch $400 billion in merchandise export. Take a hike. GST mop up at a record 1.41 lakh crore in April. I think this again is sending a wrong picture. It's not a V-shaped recovery at all, folks. It's doubling. We are going downhill and going downhill faster than we know. The only thing that's going to hold it up so far, it seems, is agriculture and nothing else. Second wave left 73.5 lakh jobless in April. Add to this the 73 lakh we're carrying forward from the last, and you know where we are going. RBI moves in to tame rupee's risk premium. Now, rupee obviously is becoming a risky. It's one of the worst performers in the developing world, folks. Second wave may derail revival, says S&P. India may grow at 8.2 after dropping at 6.5. We grow at 8.2. That's just an anemic growth of 3%. Even that is looking doubtful, folks. Doubtful, believe me. Biggest fall in consumer sentiment since May 20. 3 points. So all the other indicators are suggesting we are up the creek without a paddle, and our finance minister didn't know what she was doing then. She absolutely is clueless now, folks. India, UK to reduce trade barriers in food and medical devices. That's interesting. More job cuts loom in malls and stores. I already warned you about this, seeing what was happening in the United States. But some stuff, the MNCs globally are doing their bit for India, man. Between IBM and everybody. Here it has Accenture to donate to 25 million, other MNCs chip in too. This is our only saving grace, folks. Now, after the break, we're going to talk politics. The two other pieces of news that I thought was just despicable to say the least. Cheers.
कौवा सावन में नाच जाए तो मोर नहीं होता, हर दाढ़ी बनाने वाला रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर नहीं होता, और हर गंजा चाणक्य नहीं होता। पत्रकार महोदय, टूटी खाट फटा लंगोट मर गया भाजपा को देकर वोट सोचा था बनियाइन के ऊपर नई शर्ट आएगी क्या पता था बाद में पतलून उतर जाए
Welcome back, folks. Now, a little bit on politics. The other item that I thought I didn't like very much is this blanket central security for BJP's Bengal MLAs based on general threat. Then you have Suvendu Adhikari, right, betraying Bengal's mandate. Silence is no option. TMC cadres have unleashed terror. BJP will resist. MHA grants central security cover to all BJP MLAs in Bengal. Now, here's the point, right? And which is I'm going to substantiate it. These are all turncoats who have been 10 years with Mamta. So they were thugs when they were with Mamta, and they are sons now when they moved to the BJP. How hypocritical and diabolic. Can't the country see through this? This is the same thing that happened with Sarna. Same thing with he's now the chief minister. Same thing happened with Mukul Roy. He is also a leading light with the BJP. Both were trapped in the Sharda scam, but were given a way out that if they joined the BJP Sharda scam, they will be washed in milk, right? And he says it right. Incoming garbage got West Bengal ticket, says Tat Gata. Slams 4 netas for Bengal poll debacle. Former Meghalaya Governor Tatagai Roy led a blistering attack against the foursome. Now this is the truth coming out, right? And here's what we say. He is not concerned about the infrastructure in the rest of the country, which is despicable, especially in BJP states ruled like Gujarat and UP. But he's worried about West Bengal, right? He says Harshvardhan augment health infra center firm on helping Bengal in COVID fight. I think it's time Harshvardhan, because of the comments he's made, false comments, right, with full of bravado, should actually resign just like Madhav Rao Sindhya did after the big train crash. Right? Those were guys made of guts and glory. RSS slams West Bengal post-poll violence, urges center to establish peace. Where are these RSS guys out helping people? They're not. All he's worried about is elections, right? Didi comes out rightly, accept mandate and allow us to work now, Didi tells center. Absolutely right. But, they're not giving in. Oh, and false stories. 80,000 forced to abandon homes in Bengal. BJP president. Nada. Nada is nada. You know what nada in English means? No, not. Zero. He is just BSing. MHA sends team to Bengal, seeks report from governor on violence. Give up the break. 14 people dead. All stories about rapes are big lies. And you have 4,000 dying daily. They are not concerned about that here. That just goes to show. After victory, Mamta says we'll move top court against poll body and probably she'll get something out of this, right? But the efforts of the government to dislodge any government, so this is one thing, that's another one they're really hurting. Well, the other was the Maharashtra government. So ED lodges cases of money laundering against Deshmukh and rightly says that this is a big game changer was the women. Her vote for Mamta, TMC's promotion of women candidates, welfare schemes and Banerjee's image of caring street fighter, consolidated support, and everybody should learn from that. Election Commission came out looking like anything but roses. Election Commission divided. One EC objects to panel asking court for gag order on media. EC denies any rift in unitedly backs free media. Dissenting EC was keen to put views in affidavit but was denied. And then he says CEC never thought of deferring assembly polls due to COVID surge. So this guy, Sushil Chawla, folks, you gotta nail it. If he becomes the governor of Goa, as I believe he might, if he does, it's just like Ranjan Gogoi. Now, earlier you could have been an ex-chief justice and had some respect, but now he's just a politician. That's all he is, a politician. He's lost the aura that should surround an ex-chief justice of India, folks. And here, EC diminished. Any list of winners and losers in the just concluded round of assembly elections will have to include in this category of losers a non-combatant who is in fact the referee. The Election Commission of India, a constitutional body that built for itself an enviable reputation for impartiality and a formidable cache of public trust, the EC has appeared all too pliable to political pressure. Amid a pandemic, in the poll aftermath, it continues to let itself down by approaching the Supreme Court with special leave petition against the oral and sharply critical observation by the Madras High Court about its charges. by complaining that they are uncalled for, blatantly disparaging and derogatory, and that suggesting that a line be drawn so that they are not reported to the media. The EC shows unbecoming prickliness and worse. It shows disregard for an open and democratic public sphere in which, as the Supreme Court rightly pointed out, it is important for constitutional bodies to take criticism from other constitutional bodies in the right spirit. And the next item that took the cake was this one. Congress trying to weaken COVID fight, Nada on CWC remark, and then Rahul spreading negativity, Nada writes to Sonia. You know, I got to tell Nada and that Amit Malviya, with what we are seeing genuinely, the bodies floating down, the lines and queues for injections, the queues to get into, to get oxygen, no availability of oxygen, the world is seeing it, we are seeing it. What can possibly Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi say to make it any more negative than this, Mr. Nada? I don't understand. You guys can tell me, right? COVID-19, for the BJP Sanghatan, it is time to deliver on seva instead of preaching and trying to pretend everything is okay, which is what they are doing. Dear members of BJP, we must point to the gross neglect of duty that has worsened our situation. This cannot wait for post-COVID-19 analysis. And rightly so, but things are turning out to be pretty bad in UP, you know, because that's another fort they're losing at the ground. Arson in UP town as wrong candidate declared winner, and this is where, in Gorakhpur, COVID rumblings within. BJP leaders in UP complain as government puts up a brave face. Fear in each family, government on the defensive. Anxiety deepens within BJP and RSS ranks. The other virus is this ballistic, I think, insane fellow in Karnataka. What do they say? A saffron battle axe in Karnataka. And Urbane Vinaya cannot obscure Tejasvi Surya's politics of vitriol. And just look at what's happening in his state, his government. Karnataka now up the creek without a paddle. And worse, it's the center. Bengaluru is not overtaken Pune. Okay. BJP MP's graft charges, gets communal, hits COVID work. Fear forces Bengaluru war room workers to skip duty because they are scared. And wouldn't you be? The other virus, and that's exactly it, Surya, is with communal dog whistle. BJP MP Tejasvi Surya makes viruses' job easier. This is the last thing Bengaluru needs as it battles COVID, folks. Is this what the BJP is all about? You tell me. And what does another BJP guy say? Wife lay on hospital floor for 3 hours, was given no food or water. UP BJP MLA. Okay. When this was happening, BJP summoned Sonwal Sarna as uncertainty over a Sam CM contest. Well, Sarna got his way, he said. Remember, he was a criminal according to the BJP Amit Shah before he joined folks, the BJP. Okay. And virtual realities. This is how I end it, right? By Tavleen Singh. As I watched the Prime Minister urge Chief Ministers last week to not slow down the pace of vaccinations, I wondered if living in virtual reality has made him lose touch with reality. Where are the vaccines, right? This virtual meeting was where we had the first sighting of the Home Minister since the defeat in West Bengal. The Home Minister is directly in charge when there is a national disaster, and yet for the past 2 months, Amit Shah has been cited only at election rallies in Bengal. Hallelujah. It's good to know that they are back at least virtually, but so much time has been wasted that India is now on a ventilator. Modi's Atmanirbhar dream has been thrown in a garbage bin, and we are begging for help from anyone ready to give it to us. Many countries have closed their doors to Indians because they see images of the pyres that burn or light in our cremation grounds and people gasping for oxygen in our hospitals, and they fear that we have a horrific new mutation that travelers will bring with them. Things are so bad that our foreign minister seems for now to have given up his silly efforts to counter the bad press the supreme leader is getting internationally. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Jai Hind.